Hello, welcome back to my garden. It's incredibly hot out here and I'm preparing a bed to plant something into today, which is, maybe you've already figured out by the title, kind of unusual, but I'll explain my thinking here. I'm going to use this bed as a seed bed for dahlias for next year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start 3 different varieties of dahlias from seed here in this bed. And my thinking is that they will grow. I don't know how big they'll get or how mature they'll get or if they'll even flower, but theoretically they should. They grow pretty quickly. And when the frost comes, I'm going to cut them all down and then I'm going to mulch over the top. Theoretically, in the springtime, dahlias should start coming back up, at which point I can dig them out of this bed and I can transplant them elsewhere throughout the garden. Theoretically. This is an experiment. I have never done anything like this before. And to make things even more interesting, I'm doing it in the middle of a heat wave. I think most of the Southeast United States right now, I could be wrong, but I think most of the Southeast United States is suffering a bit of a heat wave right now. It's only, at least for me here, it's only going to be for the next couple of days. I think Wednesday it's supposed to rain and then the temperatures will drop back down into the low 90s, which I know many of you are still saying that's way too hot. And it is very hot, but it's more in line as to what we normally get this time of year in June. So, what 3 varieties am I going to plant out? I didn't even know I could get this many varieties in seed until recently when I started doing a little more digging and homework. And I got all these from Select Seeds, in case you're wondering. I don't know if they still have them for sale, but if they do, you can go over to selectseeds.com. Grab yourself some packets, maybe try this at home if you'd like to. I'm going to do cactus flowered mix. So all these are going to be bright colored dahlias and they're just going to be different shapes. So the watercolor is more of an open face mixture. The pom-pom mix is more of a ball type mixture. Again, because these are mixes, none of these are true to type, as it were. So some of them may form a tighter ball, others may be a looser ball. But if I remember correctly, and let's just verify with the back of the packet, if you're ever in doubt, if you're a new gardener, if you're ever in doubt as to what and how to plant your seeds, always read the back of the packet. Great information back there. These say planting depth, just cover. So we're not going to plant these very deep. So the first ones I think we're going to do is the pom-pom. And I've already pre-made my labels too. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just to make a little, almost like I'm planting a crop. And technically this is like a crop. And we're just going to take these, sprinkle the seeds out. I'm going to try to space them apart, but I'm not going to get too worried if a couple of them are too close together, because I will come back through and I will thin out those that may be too close together. We will spread these out, see what germinates. Oops, that's too many. I dropped like 5 right there. There we go. I may only get 3 or 4 in this row. I may get none in this row. I don't know. So I'm going to do the same thing to the next 2 rows. The other thing I'm going to do once these start coming up is I'll come back through at some point with grass clippings. I don't think I'm going to use the straw that I've been using, but probably grass clippings as I mow the vegetable garden here. And I'll just cover over the top, use it as a mulch, and that'll help keep the soil moist during the heat of the summer. Now it is about 11 o'clock as I film this. And normally what you would do after you get done planting or sowing your seeds is water the bed that you've planted. I'm not going to do that right now. Seeds will be fine in the ground as they are right now. I will come back tonight once the sun is setting and things are cooling off, and I will give these a really good soak. Tomorrow morning, when I come into the vegetable garden to do my daily watering, I will give these a really good soak, so on and so forth. And because I'm planting them in a raised bed, I really don't have to worry about them getting overwatered, because these beds drain very well because of the materials I've put into them. So that's not a problem at the moment. So hopefully this experiment works. Hopefully these guys grow, and then hopefully I can transplant them next spring if they survive the winter. Like I said, this is a bit of an experiment. I've never done anything like this before. I have done seed starting beds with mixed results, so this one will be a new one for me. Now, I do have other beds which will be freeing up soon, because I know some of you are going, oh my God, you're in the vegetable garden. Shouldn't you be growing vegetables in the vegetable garden? we're getting to that time of year where there's very few vegetables which will grow under this intense heat. But what I will be doing soon is harvesting my onions, and that'll free up a few more beds. And then when that does, when those beds get freed up, I will be planting additional things in those beds, and I'll talk more about that when we get there. In the meantime, we have some sunflowers to plant. I don't think I hit record a second ago on the camera, but right here at my feet here, I just planted some chocolate cherry sunflowers. Hopefully they grow and germinate and nothing eats them. The ones that I had planted started from seed up on the potting bench. They've all been planted out. They're growing well right now. Hopefully by mid to late July, we start getting some sunflowers out of these guys. Worst case scenario, early August, I'm okay with that. Sunflowers love the heat, so right now in this heat wave, they are thriving. The shrubbery here that you see, I am probably going to trim back later this week when it gets cooler, I believe into the high 80s or so. I don't want to do it right now in the middle of the heat wave. It might do bad things to the shrub, to this privet here, but this definitely needs to get pruned back, which I will be doing. That's going to wrap it up for today. It is far too hot. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified of when I do post up a new video. We may wind up doing a tour in the next video. There's work in the rose garden I want to do. There's a bunch of stuff going on here in the garden that will continue on whether there's a heat wave or not. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them below. With all that being said, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.